was invited by Bandai Namco to check out the Elden Ring DLC. I got to play for 3 hours and it was mind-boggling. The event had place in Hollywood, so I flew there on the 24th, and the event was at the Hollywood Cemetery, which was really creepy. There were a lot of gravestones, obviously, but it was all in theme for the Elden Ring DLC, as I will show later. So upon entering the event in the Hollywood Cemetery, we get met with this giant egg that rests atop like a hip bone. You can find this egg in Mogwin's palace. After you beat Mog, you will see this egg. You can enter the DLC through here. Haha! That's me. I'm really fortunate that Bandai Namco invited me. It was incredible. I was there together with Dist, Distortion 2, and Ouroboros. We hung out the whole time. It was very fun. This was in the hallway. There were these candles everywhere. They were lit up everywhere. Absolutely beautiful. Then going in the venue, this is where everyone sat down to play. And before we played, we got like a brief presentation on, you know, the way things work, like the mechanics, a few new things that they added to the DLC, which there is a lot. It's incredible. But they just like told us, because we were allowed to play for 3 hours. So they told us what we can do in those 3 hours, like which dungeons to visit, what to do if we feel like we're stuck, yada yada. So a very brief presentation. All these computers were powered by laptops. I thought it was insane. We also got like a small guidebook, basically, if there's anything we don't know about the items and so on. Super cool. Everything was very well thought out. And then here's a small picture of Dist and me playing. This was after the event. Again, you can see like how many computers there are. The Bandai Namco team was super helpful, super nice. All the people there were amazing. This was the food. So there was also food provided at the event, and we had some very medieval looking food. It fit the DLC event perfectly. And then after the event, they gave us goodie bags. This is one of the things they give us in the goodie bags. It's a paper notebook with beautiful like Elden Ring images. I believe it's like hand-bound. So this was the first page. I also have my Elden Ring themed nails here. Yeah, beautiful notebook. This is the back with torrents. So beautiful. Oh my god, I'm so happy I got that. And then we also got this. Incredible. Elden Ring Shadow the Erdtree preview event. A cast iron medal. All mine. Alright, let's go. Let's start the B-roll footage. So you enter the Elden Ring DLC after defeating Moog. You touch Miquella's hands, which will be out of the egg. And then once you, like, just look at this. When I started playing the DLC during the event, I cried a bit. It's absolutely amazing. Just look at the art direction. When I was standing right here, it really felt like I was re-exploring Elden Ring all over again. It was absolutely incredible. I had goosebumps. Across the entire map, you'll find these gravestones, which I mentioned the event took place in the Hollywood Cemetery. And I can see why. In the distance, you also find this guy that's on fire. He's been in the trails before. To the side here, there's a small Berserk reference, or so I've been told. It's a large tree with bodies hanging from it. Right here. Now going towards Fire Giant, or the giant that's on fire, you can't kill him. I believe he drops a tear. I haven't been able to do so myself, but I did see a few people during the event kill this guy. The DLC is also incredibly hard. You want to be rune level 100 at least. If you're still struggling, there are several items scattered across the entire DLC map that you can pick up, and it makes the bosses weaker. Like, it gives you more strength and makes bosses weaker. So I highly suggest picking up those items if you're struggling in the DLC. These are only DLC items though, they do not affect the base game. And technically, you could enter the DLC at like level 1, you know, if you're a masochist, but it's definitely a very high level DLC. Here you can see one of the new weapons. The DLC offers so many different types of weapons. And not just melee weapons, also magic. Oh, and this gear is a repeating crossbow. It's like Gil's repeating crossbow. It absolutely destroys. When I was playing, I tried out the heavy katanas, the beast claws, and martial arts. Super cool. Also, and if you play Dark Souls 3, there is an item to turn you into like a dragon form. And I'm not kidding you, there was an NPC that had that same dragon form, so there might be a chance to become a dragon. It's insane how large the map is too. It's honestly, it feels like Limgrave, but times 2, if not times 3. It's incredible. The map is very vertically built. And it seems like when you open the map, in the DLC area, you can tell there's a piece of Limgrave, Liurnia, Volcano Manor. Like, the entire map is condensed into the DLC, but it's different. It's like moon scorched. I don't know if you guys played Fear and Hunger, but that's kind of like the vibe. It's the same map, but rehashed in a very good way. Like, it's not reused assets or anything. There is a lore reason, and that just like blew my mind. It's the entire game, but just like in the Shadow realm, like different. Yeah, just look at like it's insane. Even now, it's giving me goosebumps. The background, the immensity of it. This is one of the castles in the DLC. Very close to the Erdtree. While exploring and killing bosses, there are these symbols right here. These symbols, they will appear anytime you kill a boss or you do something. I'm not too sure. I was I was all over the place while I was playing. But yeah, these symbols are very important, and there are always groupies. So these groupies, they love you basically. You can see there's someone here and someone there, and they're rooting for you. They're rooting for you to, I believe you want to serve Mikola and like destroy the baddies, and they're always there rooting for you at every one of those symbols. Sorry for explaining that kind of badly, but that's the gist of it. And also, I believe one of those... Oh, there, this item. This might be one of the items that you can pick up to make the game, the DLC, easier. Again, if you're struggling with the DLC, make sure to pick these up. They're scattered throughout different locations, but it really does help. But you can make it as hard as, or as easy as you want. You don't have to, of course. And here's the footage on the beast claws. After throwing the axe to the face, boom. The claws are absolutely brutal. They're so fast, look at that. You can stun lock enemies and bosses like crazy. This is some footage of the martial arts right here, I believe. Yeah! Look at the kicks! So cool. Super cool. We're getting closer to the boss. Yeah! There he is! So the boss is very similar to... The movement of the boss is very similar to the dancing dragons during like Chinese New Year. He like twirls around and is very theatrical. I love this boss. This boss is incredibly hard. So this boss switches up elements. He can do wind elements, lightning elements, and fire. Oh, and frost. I believe it's wind, lightning, and frost, actually. But as you can see, the boss is really high speed, and he will switch between the elements all the time. This is probably the first boss you'll encounter while playing the DLC. And then this is the last part of the footage, but a really cool tiny detail. You see these worm guys? Yeah, so they are your friends, but like they'll cover entire areas and they will be friendly. They won't do anything. However, if you hit one of them, their head will swell up, like their head will basically explode. They'll go all red and glowy and they will one-shot you. Like, they will not stop to kill you. So if you hurt them, they will hurt you. So I highly recommend poking one of these guys once you enter the DLC. It's really fun. Trust me. Oh, there's a few over there. They were kind of red. But yeah, that was it. I feel so fortunate that I was invited to play the DLC for a few hours. Just being invited to the event in general was incredible. I will never forget that, ever, and I'm so excited to play the DLC and do challenge runs and stuff. Thank you guys for watching.